Welcome to Talkin' to Taylor. I'm your host, Taylor Dragovich, an AMP Media Productions producer. You can catch me here every Monday at 11 a.m. I'll be interviewing guests, reviewing movies, talking about pop culture, and so much more every week. Now time for the show. Hello and welcome back to Talkin' to Taylor. Today we're going to be talking about traveling. And the reason I wanted to talk about traveling is because the lack of traveling. I miss traveling. I, for so long, was like, I am going to wait to travel because I wanted to, first I was like, I'm going to wait till I'm done with high school. And then I was like, I'm going to wait till I have a good time in college to travel. And then the corona happened. So now I'm like, wow, I wasted all that time. I could have been traveling, and now we can't travel because of a virus. So now I'm like, it's kind of taught me a lesson that I shouldn't wait so long to do things I want to do. So when Corona's over, I am going to be trying to travel. But, thank you. I was looking up some tips for traveling. Where is my list? So places I have been so far. I've been all up the East Coast of the US. So when I say places I've gone to, I don't mean just places I've driven through. I mean places I've stayed in. So if we're talking places I've just been in, I've been in places like New Hampshire and stuff, but I wouldn't consider that a place I've traveled to because we just drove through it. But that was on our way up. I traveled with my family from Florida all the way to Maine, and we drove there because flights are expensive. And I'm sure after Corona they're going to be even more expensive, so that sucks. We'll see. Right now they're not super expensive. Oh, I forgot a place on here that I'll just mention. But places I've been to Maine. It's really pretty there. Very different than here in Florida. And it is surprisingly cold there over the summer, which, for me, that's very different because I've only lived in Florida my whole life, where it's always hot and humid for every season, and then especially for summer. And then Maine is just cold a lot. So we were wearing jackets in June, and I was like, what is this? So I've also been to Tennessee, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, all that area. I love it. It's so pretty. The mountains. I feel like the people are super nice. And I just really like it there. And another place was Ohio. I went there. We drove up there too, so lots of driving I have been a part of with my family. We drove up to Ohio and we went to Cedar Point. Is Cedar Point in Ohio?
I don't know.
There's some.
Don't ask me. I failed geography.
Yeah. There's some, and I want to say it's Cedar Point, but now I'm second guessing myself. Now I'm like, is that the one that's in Michigan? I don't know. I think it's Cedar Point in Ohio, amusement park, a roller coaster park. I've been to the Bahamas. I went on a cruise there. I don't like cruises that much. I get seasick pretty easily, I found. But it was cool. It was different. Michigan. I have family that lives in Michigan. So I saw snow for the first time in Michigan when I was 7. Yes, 7. It was over winter break 2007. And it was snowing. I love the snow. I don't think I could live there, especially because I've grown up in Florida, so I'm definitely not used to that. But I do really like snow. I wish we did have at least some snow, which is why I would prefer to live Georgia area or something, because they do get snow sometimes, but not a ton of snow like in Michigan, where it's extreme. But I have family that lives there, my dad's family is from Michigan, so I like it there. It's really like I just love snow, which I know it doesn't snow, and I used to think that when I was a kid. I feel like a lot of Florida kids like have that mindset where like in certain states they think that it's always snowing because they've only been there when it's snowing. I used to think it just snowed in Michigan all the time. Um, but yeah, and then I've been to Boston recently. I hadn't been to Boston before, but I went to Boston in November with my friend and a few of his friends, and it was fun. I actually really liked it. I actually got to see fall for the first time, so I don't have a great like a big, like, what's the word? A big experience.
Inexperience?
Yeah, I'm inexperienced with seasons, I guess you could say. So I hadn't ever seen real fall before, and that was my first time seeing real fall was in Boston, and it was really pretty. Oh my gosh, every time I walked past a tree, I'm sure everyone was getting really annoyed with me on that trip because I was just in awe of every single tree and every leaf that I saw, and I just love the cold. I love dressing for cold weather, especially because I never get to wear any of my cold weather stuff. And so it was really fun. And then I've also been to Italy. Um, I really want to go back to Italy because my friend lives there and I miss her a lot. But we went to Rome, Milan, Venice, Florence, and Pisa. Is that a city? I don't know if that's a city or not, but we saw the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Um, and in Rome, we saw like the Colosseum and everything. So it was really cool. There's a lot of old buildings and historic sites. A lot of old stuff. That's the main thing that was different from like Italy to here is in here, like, we say like things are old and it's like 50 years old or something like that. There, old to them is like thousands of years old. So that was like really crazy to me. And the food was good if you wanted to know. But a way that I the way that I traveled there, I wouldn't have been able to travel there without my friend Enrica. So shout out to her. She was a foreign exchange. I know I've talked about this before, but she was a foreign exchange student at my high school, and that's how we met. And then we became super good friends. And then she's visited here a lot. I visited there once. I really want to go back. But hopefully she's coming back in like over the summer in like July or something. We're hoping, but we'll see. 'Cause she's getting her second dose of the vaccine in May. So if that works out and the travel ban gets lifted and all that, then hopefully she's coming here. But yeah, I wouldn't have been able to get around Italy without her because I speak no Italian at all. I was in Italy for almost a month and I learned nothing in Italian, other than aqua means water, and ciao obviously is hello and goodbye. But yeah, that's all I learned. And she's fluent in English and Italian, lucky for me. So she would just translate everything for me. She helped me order food and everything. Yeah, I couldn't have done it without her because she also is very good at traveling because she has traveled a lot. Like, she loves traveling more than me. Like, she loves it. And she had been to the United States, like, out of the country from a young age. And I hadn't been out of the country until Italy. I mean, unless you count the Bahamas, but that was like a cruise, so it's different than like flying there by yourself. And yeah, so I flew there by myself, which was like kind of scary, but I'm glad that I did it because it helped me learn a lot. But she had done that a few times, so I was able to ask her questions like, how does this work? And how does, like, I didn't know how traveling out of the country worked, so that was very helpful. So Yeah, and I'm gonna share some of that with my traveling tips from what I've learned and things I looked up on the internet and things Enrique's taught me and stuff. So let's see. Traveling tips that I have found. So, first off, make a list of things to pack. I made a Pinterest board before I went to Italy of pictures I wanted to take, how I needed to travel, what I needed to pack. And I make a Pinterest board for like everything in my life, so I find it really helpful. I have a Pinterest board for, like I said, pretty much everything. So, and there's Pinterest things for anything you want. Like, look up anything. I can guarantee there's like tips on how to do anything on Pinterest. Plan out what you want to do. Enrique and I were super, super excited for me to come to Italy. And I knew that I was going to be there for 3 weeks. So we were like, okay, what are we going to do in those 3 weeks? We knew we wanted to go all the major cities. A tip that I have in here is travel alone at least once, which I found to be true. I do recommend this because it definitely helped me learn a lot. Like when I went to Boston in like November, I found that traveling, like after you travel to Italy by yourself, traveling to Boston by yourself seems like nothing. You're like, I'm a professional traveler now, so even though I traveled there once, but yeah, it was so much easier to travel to Boston by myself once I went to Italy by myself. And it's just an interesting experience. I don't know, the flight was very long, so be prepared for that. The flight was 10 hours there and like 11 or 12 hours back. It was a lot. So you gotta find stuff to do. But they have movies on the plane when you travel that long, so that was nice. But yeah, just it's mainly about like getting there on time and finding your gate and stuff like that, which is way easier since I can just look it up on my phone. Like, but when I was coming back from Italy, it was a little more complicated because I couldn't find a flight straight back to Florida. I had to like stop in Georgia and then come to Florida. And fun story about that was on my way back, it stopped in Georgia, and then instead of my layover being 2 hours like it was supposed to, it ended up being like 5 or 6 hours because I think it was like weather or something, the usual. And that wasn't fun because I was by myself in this little airport. I was like, finally, I'm back in the U.S. I got Wendy's, like, first thing because I was like, fast food, American food. And then I ended up getting laid over, like, 6 hours. And I didn't end up leaving until, like, way early in the morning. Like, I want to say, like, no, maybe I didn't get, I think it was, like, late at night. And then I didn't end up getting back until, like, early in the morning. The flight from Georgia to Florida was only like 2 or 3 hours, so it wasn't that, or maybe like an hour and a half. It wasn't long, but it was just waiting the 6 hours to get back home when I was like so ready to be home. And another thing that my mom was more concerned about this than me, I think, but when I was going to Italy, she was very concerned about me getting pickpocketed, which is apparently a big thing in major cities, especially in Italy, because they know that a lot of people travel there. They know that there's a lot of tourists. So I was concerned about it, but I didn't think about it too much until my mom like brought it up to me all the time, and she got me a backpack where it was much harder to get pickpocketed, and it also had like a secret pocket in the back. So like the part that's touching your back that's actually on your back, there was like a pocket there, so that it was like the pocket was like between your backpack and your back, so like it's not like they could just unzip it while you're not paying attention. And like, so that's where I kept my phone. And then Other more expensive stuff, I tried to keep all the way in the bottom of my backpack because, like, my wallet and stuff, because if someone opens my backpack and takes something out real quick, I might not notice. But if someone's opening up my backpack and, like, digging down in it, of course I'm gonna notice. So just beware of stuff like that. So, yeah, and I kept my backpack on me the whole time. I thought about bringing, like, my camera or something. Did I bring my camera? I can't remember now. But I don't think I had my more expensive camera, but at the time. But if I did, I would be definitely nervous about bringing stuff like that. So just be careful about getting your stuff stolen. And think about how you're going to, like, text people and all of that when you're out of the country. I didn't think of this until I was going to Italy, was you need certain phone plans in order to text and call people out of the country, if you're going to not use Wi-Fi. So for people that travel a lot, there are certain phone plans that you can use that cost a little extra, but if you're traveling out of the country all the time, then they're worth it. But if you're not traveling out of the country a lot, then they're not worth it. So there's, like, if you're only traveling out of the country, like, once, then you can get certain phone plans that cost extra. But my parents were like, we don't really want to pay all that extra money just to, like, call you, because there's so many ways around it. We used Skype. The way I communicate with my friend Enrica is we text on Snapchat and we FaceTime on Skype. And you can text people and FaceTime people when you're connected to Wi-Fi in other countries, and Enrica has Wi-Fi at her house. So that's how I got around. I didn't end up getting any phone plan specific for traveling out of the country so that I could call my parents or anything. They, like, knew that I was, like, safe with Enrica and her mom. But if you are going by yourself and not with someone that you trust, then I recommend looking into phone plans in advance, because those can get tricky. But I'm going to go to commercial real quick, and then we'll come back and talk about more tips.
Your ice cream fix. Look no further than Cold Stone Creamery. At Cold Stone, we make our ice cream fresh every single day in store. We have over 20 different ice cream base flavors and over 30 different mix-ins to choose from. We also have plenty of signature creations if you don't want to go ahead and choose your own. To end your creation, you can put it in one of our freshly made waffles. We have ice cream cakes, ice cream sandwiches, milkshakes, smoothies, banana splits, sundaes, and so many other things for you to come check out and enjoy. We are the official ice cream store of the Brooklyn Cafe. Hope to see you soon, and remember, it's always a great day for ice cream.
Thanks for tuning into Talking to Taylor, coming to you every Monday at 11 a.m. Now back to the show. Back to some tips. So we talked about don't get pickpocketed, phone plan, wear good walking shoes. This might be pretty obvious, but I have found that whenever I travel, I end up walking a lot. So definitely wear sneakers. Maybe some sneakers that go with every outfit. Don't wear Converse is what I found. I used to think that Converse were good walking shoes because, you know, people sometimes use them to work out and stuff, but they're not. Unless you have flat feet or something. I don't know if that works better for people with flat feet. But they hurt. They give me blisters when I wear Converse too long. So chafing was another issue with walking a lot. Oh my gosh. I have horrible chafing issues with my legs, and mostly when there are, you know, by the way, I have a video of my trip to Italy on my YouTube channel if you want to check that out. My YouTube channel is Taylor Dragovich. And I have a few like traveling videos from mostly from Orlando, but I think I have some from Maine. Pretty much all my traveling trips I try to vlog them or whatever, and I make them into videos. So my Italy one is actually one of my favorites, so go look at that. But there is a video at the end where you can see me walking up some stairs and you can tell that my chafing is super bad because I'm walking like a cowboy and I just look so in pain because it was painful. So if I could go back now, I would have brought my Body Glide, which I talked about in my running health tips show, and it helps. If you ever have chafing issues, get some Body Glide. It looks like deodorant, but it works way, way better than deodorant. And you just rub it on wherever you know you're going to chafe, and then your body just glides. I guess that's why they call it that. But yeah, bring Body Glide if you chafe a lot. And you're going to be walking a lot probably. Like in Italy, there's just a lot of walking. So that we had to do in these big cities. So, and we were traveling places like that every day. So definitely bring Body Glide wherever you go. That's mostly a tip just for me. But I don't know if other people have that issue a lot. Don't overpack. I've been victim to this many of times. I remember when I went to Italy, I was like, I gotta have a new outfit every day so that in pictures I look super put together and like cute. But it's more about being comfortable, I think, when you're walking that much than looking presentable. But yeah, I brought so many outfits, and unless you like can't wash your clothes or something, you don't need that many outfits. It's way easier to just pack so much lighter. And also there's a weight limit on your luggage anyway. So yeah, look into any of that stuff. Luggage, your luggage needs to be a certain weight, a certain size, all of that kind of stuff. So look into all of that before you go out of the country, especially. Don't leave for too long. Now, when I went to Italy, I went for 3 weeks, and we were like, oh, maybe I should go for 4 because, there's so many things to do. But after 2 weeks of traveling nonstop, you get kind of sick of it a little bit. Like, I was just like, I just want to go home. I am so exhausted from walking every day, and I was just so tired. So if I go back to Italy again, I think I would only go 2 weeks at a time because you get homesick and you get just tired of traveling a lot. But, I mean, overall it was a good trip, but I did a few times get really, really, really exhausted and tired of traveling, especially after 2 weeks. So the last week I was like, I need to go home. And don't plan too many things. Don't get too ahead of yourself and be like, I have to do everything on my list. Because then that'll just make you stressed out. And the whole point of vacation is to not be stressed out. So, yeah, just don't, freak out. It'll be fine. So, yeah, like I said, I definitely want to go back to Italy so bad. Other places I want to go I want to go on the west coast of the United States. I've never been over there. I want to touch the Pacific Ocean. I was supposed to go there over the summer of 2020. I was supposed to be on the west coast with my family. We were going to actually fly there because my parents saved up a bunch of points with their credit card or whatever, and it was going to be very cheap for us to all fly there. And it got canceled because of Corona. So I'm sure that was a lot of people's stories, was they were gonna travel and then Corona ruined it. So yeah, I still want to go there. Hopefully that'll work out. Oh, I want to go to Chicago really bad. I've never been there. I want to go. Oh, this is perfect. I'm wearing my Save Ferris shirt today. If you don't know what that means, it's from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, my favorite movie. And the reason I want to, one of the main reasons I want to go to Chicago, not only because my good friend Alyssa has been there and says it's her favorite city and she loves it there, but also in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's filmed in Chicago, and I want to go to all the places that they went, like the baseball stadium and just everywhere there. I want to go. And the city, like where they had the parade and stuff. So I want to go to all those places from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Maybe have my own Ferris Bueller's Day Off in Chicago. And other places I want to go. Greece. I've heard the food is amazing there. You've been there?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry. But I want to go to Greece. Okay, there's a Greek food place, Chris's Taverna, right by where I work. Their Greek food is amazing. So if their Greek food is anything like Greek food in Greece, if it's better, then I need to go there because Greek food there is like at this Greek place by where I work is so good. And I need more Greek food all the time. Pita bread, tzatziki sauce, all of it is amazing. Mexico, I would like to go there, eat some. I mainly want to go all these places to eat their food, to be honest. I want to eat some tacos in Mexico. Is that too much to ask? Also, Australia, even though it kind of scares me because I've seen a lot of posts about spiders and stuff. Like, it seems crazy there. There's a lot of weird animals, apparently. Apparently, it's normal to have, like, a huge spider just in your bathroom all the time. So that kind of scares me. But I'd be willing to still go because I also want to hear everyone's accents in Australia. I'm not even going to try to do an Australian accent. I mean, there's a lot of other places, like, I'm sure Scotland is really pretty, I've heard. London. I would say Paris, but I feel like Paris is, like, overrated. Like, everyone wants to go to Paris, so since I'm so different than everyone else, I'm going to not say that. But if I won, like, a free trip there, I wouldn't be against it. Ooh, and last one I'll say, since I just saw my office sticker of Kevin spilling chili, it reminded me of Scranton, Pennsylvania. I would like to go there because that's another place I've been. I've been to Pennsylvania. My sister had like a softball tournament there or something. And Scranton was like an hour away, and now I'm like, I wish I would have just gone to Scranton myself. But apparently there's a Scranton, like, tour of Scranton that you can take. And it's to all the places in the office that they went around Scranton. Like all the restaurants that they mention, all the other stuff like that. So yeah, I would love to go to Scranton if anyone wants to plan a trip there. Anyway, that's it. Hope that Corona ends soon so we can go traveling. And maybe these tips helped you. Maybe they inspired you and you want to go traveling too. So let's just let Corona be over. And I'll see you next week. Bye. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed talking to Taylor just as much as I did. Make sure you come back next week for a brand new show with me, Taylor. Follow me on social media at Talking to Taylor on Instagram and Facebook. Also, find me on the Anchor app if you